From ag-related automation to beautiful natural resources, we're committed to advancing you and putting the region on the map. GreenSeam is here to shape the future of agricultural, business, and communities where fertile land meets technology and people come together to feed the world. We are GreenSeam.
Welcome back to the GreenSeam show. We're talking a little bit about agritourism and how it's a major component here of the GreenSeam and what we see all around us.
Yeah, agritourism, maybe you never heard the word, right? But agritourism is around us. We have, Children's Museum with the indoor and outdoor exhibits that are working with children on where the food comes from, right? We also have Farm America just down the road towards Waseca that has that next level experience of actually get a huge walking path to understand where all the stuff is grown, and they go back in history to show you what it looked like back through the different eras. And then today you think about wineries. And
the wineries are huge. The wineries piece of it is like absolutely massive. Everyone wants to go drink wine at wherever it's coming from because it makes them feel cool and special.
It doesn't even matter where it's coming from. It's the fact that it's wine and they can sit outside and have some meat and cheese.
And feel like they're there with their best friends.
All the way to Shell's Brewery has been here forever, and everybody thinks about going to their gardens and stuff, but you think about their beer, and it's brewed here. So that's all part of agritourism, but I think there's more to that than what
and more to it is actually our guest that's here today, which leads us perfectly into the legendary Miss Ann. And Ann works out at a place that's maybe about, 10, 15 minutes out of Mankato called Welsh Family Farms.
Farms.
Welsh Heritage Farms, okay. And she works right on the front line in the agritourism sector. So explain what you do, because you're going to explain it way better than me.
Okay, yeah. So we sell like pies and cheeses and mainly apples and fruits from all over, but mainly in the fall from the orchard itself that is just across the highway. We see people from all over just tired and on their way, and they want to check out this cute little this little cottagecore farm, and they see us and they're all excited for the donuts mainly.
Yeah. So when you pull in, it's all boutique, right? And a lot of it is local providers. Not a lot. It's all local providers, right? That are bringing the stuff in. And it's a cool mix between, like you said, people pulling off the road. And then on the other side of it, it's like a legitimate big boy business where you go on the other side of the highway and they have acres and acres and acres of apple trees that are set up there. And that's part of what you're passionate about.
Right. Apple trees, growing apple trees. It's about 6.5 acres and 3,000 trees.
3,000 trees. That's like a massive amount of trees.
So what do you have to do to take care of the trees?
A lot of things. So if you start in the winter, you want to do the trimming and like the pruning of the trees in the winter so that the tree doesn't get infected and get sick. In the spring, you do stuff like thinning, which is like they grow in bunches like grapes, and you want to remove all but one, so that one grows the biggest and the sweetest. And then in the summer, you spray for funguses, insects, like coddling moth, and the traditional little worm in the apple. It's what's it called? Apple maggot. Mm-hmm. It's actually a fly. And then you want to also spray for they do fertilizers as well. They don't use like manure or any kind of traditional fertilizer, but because Honeycrisp is bred with so many apples, and Honeycrisp is known for having a calcium deficiency. Mm-hmm. They put calcium on there to reduce the amount of bitter pit that they see in their apples.
There's a lot of things to take care of 3,000 trees.
Like I said before, it's a full-blown industry. So on one side of it, you're being able to help and serve your community by giving some of these other local providers a stage to be able to sell their products. And then on the other side of it, you're actually out doing this apple thing on a fairly large scale with this amount of trees. I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's a perfect fit with agritourism in our region where they can come out and visit Ann. They can see the apples. They can
grab a donut.
Yeah, grab a donut. You
can never go wrong with a donut.
You want a donut because
I want a donut.
Sounds pretty good.
Do some donut. I'm ready for lunch.
I heard the cheese is real good too. So
very cool. So what is the next step for the farm out there? Are they going to add anything? Where are they at in their process?
Talking to Libby, as soon as they get somebody to manage the apples, like independent from the owners, which is Libby and Tim.
Yeah.
And once they get somebody who can work full time on the apple side, they said about 5 years into a cider house. But they just got solar panels out this year, and they just opened a new pie shop in Lake Crystal. So there's a lot of new things happening right now.
So talk about that. They've got multiple sites going on, right? And that's the case with a lot of these small mom and pop shops that they'll have their main site, and then all of a sudden their buddy starts working on something else. All of a sudden we're plugging a little in over there, and
for the economic development side, it's really a complete value-added chain, right? I mean, we have the soils that you went and studied in school and have said, hey, we're in this place that's got all these great soils, right? Then you go to the next level and say, okay, what can we grow on it? You're growing and adding apples. Mm-hmm. And then, apples can be more than just eaten whole, raw, right? So add it into the ciders, add it into the pie, which apple pie is my favorite, by the way. But and then go up that value-add chain to the point where, cider business in Minnesota has been pretty hot lately, and especially when it's adult beverage type of cider. Now you stop and visit that, and then you go to the brewery next, right?
There you go.
So
it's the whole thing. And so if somebody wants to come out and see this, how do they get in touch, or how do they find it?
You can Google it. You can Google apple orchards near Mankato or near Lake Crystal, and it should be the top of the list. Or you could just show up one day if you're on the Highway 60, is it?
Highway 60,
yeah. Just on your way to Mankato, or going away, or coming from or to Mankato, on your way to Lake Crystal.
Can you look it up do they have a Facebook page
They
too?
do have a Facebook
Welsh
page.
Heritage Farms on Facebook too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They list their hours and when they're open longer in the autumn season.
And show up and bring your family, because that's how we've ended up out there a couple of times. Well, thank you so much for spending a little time with us, and we'll see you back here sooner rather than later.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.